You spend thousands on club soccer, private training, and showcases, but your player still freezes in crucial moments. Everyone's training the body, but no one is training the brain. Look, I've worked with hundreds of players that have made it to the Division I college, the youth national team, and even the professional level. And here's what I discovered. The difference isn't technical ability, it's decision speed. Look, at the elite level, everyone has technical ability. It's not that technique isn't important, it's that it's not a differentiator. See, this isn't about more touches or better technique. There's a missing piece in youth development that no club is teaching, and it's why talented players get passed over. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to rewire your player's brain for game speed. So here's what's really happening when your player who is very talented freezes up in a game, and this might surprise you. I've analyzed hundreds of hours of game film, and the players who hesitate aren't doing it because they lack skill. What they're lacking is a decision-making framework. Your club coach is teaching the player exactly what to do in specific situations, but they're not teaching them how to think when the situation changes, or when that situation is slightly different than the one they just experienced. Think about it. In practice, everything is controlled. The coach sets up the drill, tells the players where to pass, tells them where to run, tells them how to navigate their way through the exercise. But in games, there is no one to tell you what to do. You have to figure it out on your own. Soccer is a player-directed game, so the answer is not more technical training. It's about rewiring how the brain processes information, especially under pressure. And we see this pattern over and over again with really talented players who eventually plateau. What separates, say, a Division I college soccer player from just an elite player isn't their first touch, it isn't their speed, although those things are generally very good. What separates them is how quickly they can process information and turn that into a decision that impacts the game. And look, this isn't my opinion, this is based on neuroscience and research that proves elite athletes have developed superior pattern recognition and neural pathways. They make decisions faster because they have trained their brain to work more quickly. When you analyze film of professional players, the interesting thing is they are not always executing some incredibly complicated technical maneuver. They're just playing faster because they are deciding faster, because they see the game more clearly. So by the time the moment comes, they have already identified 2 or 3 possible outcomes and decided how they will deal with each one. But here's the key. It's not genetic. It is trainable. Your player's brain can be rewired to recognize patterns, eliminate the bad options, and execute solutions in milliseconds instead of seconds. The problem is no youth club is teaching this because most coaches don't understand it, or they are so obsessed with team development and the impact it will have on games for the team that they're missing out on the piece where individual players are able to develop. And it's not just a piece, it is the most important piece. They're still stuck in that old mindset of more is better. More is just more. And this is where most parents get frustrated. You're spending thousands on private training and your player looks incredible in those 1v1 moments, especially in the private training and in the training sessions. But they are still struggling in games. If you're doing technical training but not learning decision making, that's like having a Ferrari with no GPS. You can go as fast as you want, but you're not going to get anywhere important. Your player has all the tools, but they don't have a system for knowing how and when to use them and why it matters. The missing piece is what we call contextual decision making, training the brain to instantly assess the situation, recognize the best option, and execute without hesitation. Professional players aren't thinking about technique while they're playing. Their technique is automatic. And their brain is focused entirely on reading the game, analyzing that moment, and making a split-second decision. This is why some players with very average technical ability get recruited to the Division I and even the professional level, because they are able to impact the game under pressure because of their decision making. So here's what you need to know about getting recognized. College scouts, youth national team scouts, even professional scouts, what they are all really looking for is something that parents just don't understand. They want players who can create solutions. And in a game of soccer, you have milliseconds to make the decision and choose the right reaction. So you can't rely on your coach to give you that solution. When we analyze recruitment footage, the moments that get players noticed aren't the textbook passes or flawless dribbles. It's when they solve problems creatively and they make an impact. If you think about the best professional players you've watched, they're creating solutions in real time. This is creative decision making, the ability to see options that others are likely to miss. And those players execute them with confidence. But this is a real problem because most youth training actually kills creativity rather than build it. Because it focuses on the correct answer, the one the coach wants to see, instead of an answer that provides a solution to the problem. Players learn to look for the right pass instead of the one that creates the most opportunity. And when your player develops this creative decision-making ability, they don't just become better players. They become the type of player that coaches build their team around because they can solve problems that others can't even see. Look, if you're watching this and thinking, this is exactly what my player needs, I want your help creating a professional development plan for my son or daughter. We work with families to analyze their current situation and map out exactly how to develop their game speed intelligence. If you want to see how this system can help transform your player's game, click the link in the description and book a strategy call with me. Let's get your player thinking like a top recruit. Okay, so here's what I want you to do next. If your talented player is stuck in a cycle of looking great at practice but struggling in games, if you're tired of spending thousands on training that is missing this critical piece, then let's fix this. I've put together a strategy call where we can build a development plan for your player, where we will analyze your player's specific situation and create a personalized roadmap for development. This isn't about more drills or technical work. This is about rewiring how their brain processes the game so that they can make decisions like top Division I college and professional players do. Click the link in the description to book your call, and let's turn your player into a game changer. Hey, I'm Coach Garrett, and if you found this valuable, make sure you like and subscribe, because I share insights on player development that most parents never learn, because they're things that coaches can't or won't teach. The science behind what actually separates recruited players from everyone else.